This is Boomer Nation on Talk Radio 860 WGUL. Here's your host, Terry Benincasa.
We're back with Steve Gavatorta in his feature, Straight Talk. Hey, Steve.
Hello.
Hey there. Hey, now for the past few weeks, you have been delving into the specifics of how we can adapt to other people's personality styles.
Exactly.
To make us better communicators and therefore be heard better, get our point across better, and get better results. Ultimately, if you're a salesperson,
yep,
you're going to make more sales that way.
Exactly.
So you started out explaining to us how to what the styles are, how to adapt ourselves to their styles,
That's
and
right.
now you've been going into the specific styles and how we can adapt to them. Specifically, last week you went to the dominant.
Exactly.
And this week it's going to be the influencer style.
You got it.
Now, remind us, just to give us a brief overview of what the influencer style, who they are,
Yep,
and then how we adapt to them, if you could.
Very gregarious, personable, people-oriented people. I mean,
they're people.
Oh, exactly. They're very talkative. They're very outgoing. They're very gregarious. They just love being around people, love being the center of attention. They love being the life of the party. Exactly. So that's kind of an overview. I think a few weeks back I had mentioned that Bill Clinton was more the influencer style between he and Hillary. Hillary was the dominant style and Bill Clinton was the influencer style.
What a pair, I'll tell you.
Exactly. So, yeah, they're very gregarious. You're not going to mistake a high I or an influencing style for anything else. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. So then how do we adapt to that? I'm not an influencing style. I'm a dominant style, or I'm one of the other styles.
Right.
How do I adapt myself to the influencer style so that they're really able to hear me?
Right. Remember, the first thing you want to do is be more like that style. And again, I'm not saying change who you are. But if you're interfacing with that style, you want to be a little bit more like them. So if you're interfacing with an influencer style, you do want to be more talkative. You do want to be more gregarious with them. You do want to open up dialogue and be more alive, so to speak. You've got to tie to their people orientation, their love of people, their love of talking, their love of communicating. Another thing you can do is high I or influence styles are motivated by their image. So I think I said a few weeks ago, this can be a good thing, this can be a bad thing. If their image is tarnished, it's a bad thing. If their influence or image is positive, it's a great thing. So if you can appeal to their image, you're going to really connect with them. So if you're managing an influencer style, build them up, tell them how good they reward them for jobs well done, so to speak. If you're selling to them, then appeal to their image as a customer, so to speak. Compliment them on their business model, the way they run their business and things of that nature.
So they care a lot about the way they're seen by others.
Perceived, absolutely. That image is a big thing. If you can appeal to that, you're going to really connect with an influencer style.
Now, do they respond well to just having the proverbial air balloon up their proverbial skirts, or does it have to be genuine? Do they not care how you're going to compliment them as long as you're schmoozing them?
In a lot of ways, they don't mind the schmoozing. I think any time you're interfacing with a style, you should be natural. It should come from the heart. It should be sincere. But them more than others, they are people oriented. They like that feeling of being, again, appealing to their image, so to speak.
So you really can kind of embellish a little bit and
Absolutely.
They won't mind that.
No, not at all. And as I've said in the past, I'm going to give you 5 things you should do when interfacing with that style and 3 things you should not do.
Okay.
So 5 things you should do when interfacing with an influencer style is talk about people, and their goals, tie things to people. That's really going to drive them. Ask for their opinion. Always allow time for relating and socializing. Focus, as I said, on people type items, and be stimulating, interesting, engaged, maintain eye contact, things of that nature. So really connect with them on a people
Be more
side.
Animated.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And when you're interfacing with them, you do have to put that upfront time and build that rapport.
All right, and what not to do.
And then lastly, 3 things you shouldn't do is don't be cold, curt, or tight-lipped. You've got to build that rapport. Don't control the conversation. It's got to be a dialogue, not a monologue. And lastly, don't drive on facts and figures. They're people-oriented folks. So build relationships with people.
All right. Who are we going to talk about next week?
The steadiness style.
All right. We're going to talk about you steady people.
You got it.
If you want to ask Steve a question, he'll answer either off or on the air. You can call it into our listener line. That's 877-999-1172, option 2. Or you can email him at Steve, STEVE, at boomerradioshow.com. Talk to you next week.
Looking forward to it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Attention business owners and managers. If you don't have a sales force that consistently exceeds quota or consistent growth in yearly profits, then you're quickly losing your competitive edge, and the Steve Gavatorta Group can change that. The Steve Gavatorta Group is a premier business communications consulting company with a client list that includes Bayer and New York Life. The Steve Gavatorta Group is known as the profitability catalyst. To find out what they can do for your company, call 813-908-1343 or go to gavatorta.com.